Welcome back into the film room, guys. I am your host, Erik Turner. I wanted to take a look at a couple plays from an edge defender that I was taking a look at today, named Jason Oweh. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Oweh, Oweh. Edge defender, number 28 from Penn State. Very athletic guy, 6'5", 252 pounds for the Nittany Lions. I like him against the run. He's not a guy that's going to anchor at the point of attack, but he has some lateral quickness to avoid blocks. He does have the ability to stack and shed at the line of scrimmage. But if there are combination blocks between tight ends and tackles on him, they're going to move him. He has some quick hands, too, that he uses to avoid some of those blocks in and around the tackle box. Very good against teams that want to run that zone read on him and read him and get the quarterback outside the pocket. He's very good at not only reading the mesh, not going too deep into the line of scrimmage. Usually you want your edge defender to go 2 yards or to the heels of the offensive lineman. He does a good job of that, and then recovering out wide on those wide runs by quarterbacks and outside zone runs out of shotgun. So he's really good in and around the line of scrimmage when he's able to beat tight ends or when he's able to just be matched up one-on-one with a tackle here and there. He can win in the backfield. But as a pass rusher, I think there's a lot to be desired. I think he's generally, quite inconsistent when it comes to getting off the ball. He doesn't read the ball, the snap, all that well. So his burst is, half a click behind because he is not reading the ball when it's snapped. And his hand usage, his pass rush technique and plans are all very raw, but he does, like I said, have that athleticism to possibly develop down the line. So I took a look at 4 games from him today, and you'll see this move pop up a lot on his film. It's just a cross chop, and he uses both hands to execute it. So he's one-on-one with the tackle here on the right side of the screen, and you're going to see him adjust his angle. So he's starting out wide. He jumps inside, but he does that so that he can manipulate his stride and almost jump a stride and pick up a stride right here as the tackle shoots his hand. So when the tackle goes to shoot his hands, what he's going to do, he's going to chop it down. You see him right there with his left hand, his outside hand, get it right above the elbow, that lower upper arm, and then he's going to reinforce that with his right hand. So his inside hand is going to come down and pretty much chop that down so that he shortens the edge right there of the offensive line. So the pocket is now much more narrow, and he's able to bend and flatten to the quarterback there. So you see him get a piece of the ball, and it is intercepted on the back end. This is his move. This is his go-to move, and he does it from both sides. He played a little bit on both sides last year, but his cross chop move is generally in this way with his left right there, cross chop, and then right over the top. When they do align him at right defensive end, he'll use the same move, but it'll be an inside chop to get the inside lane rather than outside. He's more of a speed rusher. He wants to go out wide, which is why these kind of moves, work really well. And his lateral agility helps him get that edge right here. Again, changing that angle as a pass rusher, left hand on just above the elbow, chops down, gets the edge, and then you see him use his length to affect the quarterback there. So definitely a move that you'll see a lot on film. I also want you to watch what happens when he doesn't have a plan, he doesn't have a counter, and when he just relies on that outside rush. He's over here on the left side of the screen now, rushing upfield versus the left tackle, and watch the left tackle just shoot that outside hand and boom, land it right on these shoulder pads, right on where the shoulder meets the arm, and just totally stymies that rush. And you see he's got no counter to that right there. No counter moves. I didn't see many. I saw maybe a spin move where when the tackle lands like this, he'll spin back inside, but he doesn't really have many pass rush moves in his arsenal, or counters for that matter. So he's got a lot of work to do when it comes to pass rush, but he does have some, athletic traits that the teams in the NFL are going to like. He just has to work on his hand usage. You see the cross chop, as I said before. You'll see a quick stab chop that he has and has shown, but that also needs refinement. So those are really his top 2 moves that he needs to work on. And of course, aside from that, just, bulking up, getting some play strength on that frame of his, because he does have a frame that he can, grow a little bit into, add a few more pounds into to help him anchor against the run, but also, help him, develop some power moves to counter when these tackles, are able to stymie his initial pass rush plan. So just a couple plays from Jayson Oweh. Again, the edge defender, number 28 from Penn State. Again, he has some tools, but he's got a lot of work to do. Probably a late rounder that, teams like the Bills, who are trying to add depth in this draft at edge, and they want to develop a guy, I think he's the type of target that teams will look into.